guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit your notification bell for all new upcoming videos. Today I'm going to just talk a little bit about my fitness journey and my wellness journey to living a better and healthier lifestyle. Some of the obstacles I came along the way, some of the things I discovered for myself, and where I'm leading to now in my health and fitness journey. I know my channel doesn't talk a lot about my health and fitness journey because I still am growing in that department. I'm also still learning, and I find that when it comes to the nutrition and fitness industry, especially on the internet, it can be a lot of false information, as well as I find that it also pertains per person. So sometimes giving out a lot of information doesn't always help for everybody. So I'm just going to share the things I learned from my body, and hopefully you guys can gather some tips or some information that can help you better on your fitness and wellness journey. So let's dive in. So what made me start this journey? So for a lot of time in my life, I have been a heavier set girl. Some consider chubby, thick, whatever the name is. I've always been in the double digits. So I think I got into double digits in like high school, and I just been in double digits for a long time. And before then, I was always like a 7'9". I was always on that verge of the double digits. So I've always just been going up and down. I think the smallest I ever got into when it came to my jeans was like a size 5, and that was literally ridiculously small. I actually didn't even want to get that small. I was doing a lot of diet pills at the time, and I was also going to like those weight loss clinics. They give you like those methamine pills or whatever you call it. So that was suppressing a lot of my appetite. So I noticed I was losing a lot of weight, but I also was losing a lot of muscle. I was losing a lot of definition. I was losing my curves. I was literally like just losing a lot. So I stopped doing that type of stuff, and I started gaining my weight back quick. And then I didn't really know what to do afterwards. I just kept trying different diets over and over. So my weight would go up, go down, go up, go down. And really, my goal is to have, I like being thick. So I don't want to be in a smaller size. I don't care about like the jeans or double digits, that type of stuff, because for me, it doesn't matter. For me, it's my overall health and how I feel. I do want to be more muscular. I do want to have more definition and tone in my body. So I find that I am more aiming toward the fit thick. Is that what they're calling it? Which is more just, I'm already thick and I'm just going to be more muscular, so more defined. And I found that that actually is what I was looking for this whole time, because really my problem areas for me were just, I had the body weight and I had the curves. I just didn't tone it up and shape it. So I felt like my butt wasn't evenly like proportioned in shape. It was just big. And then I felt like my waist wasn't small enough, and I just had a little fupa, and I really wanted to get rid of that type of stuff. I also had issues with my arms. I really wanted to have more of a defined arm and back. So I didn't really know strength training was more for me until I started this like journey. And I've been on this journey for like my weight loss since I was 19, and I'm now 31. So this has been years of me just going up and down, fluctuating, and it also taking effect. I wasn't consistent. So you gotta take I was having like maybe a year or two when I wasn't even going to the gym at all. So that's why I said this has been a long journey for me, from up and down, from going to the gym consistently, doing cardio 5 days a week, taking them diet pills, and that's when I got really skinny. And then I went from that to like gaining all my weight back, and it just got chunky. And then after I got chunky, I had started losing my stomach, but I couldn't lose what I was trying to lose, which is when I got the lipo surgery. So I got the lipo surgery, and it shrinked my stomach and my waist, but I still had an issue with my butt. I felt like my butt wasn't round. So I never really understood what I was really aiming for until I finally got in the gym and started working on my butt and started seeing the results. And I'm like, this is what I've been trying to do, shape it. Sometimes I felt like, for me, for instance, since I was never a person who knew anything about the gym or working out, I was literally starting from scratch. So I didn't really know all the lingo, the techniques, or what was really I was trying to do with my body. And every time I was like finding people to try to train me, I was having a lot of just people wasting my time, honestly. People who weren't serious about training, they weren't consistent, or they had another agenda when it came to training. They didn't really want to train me. And I had that more often than I did the other ones. So I just started to just work out by myself, and I would try to find homegirls to work out with, but they either weren't consistent or we weren't on the same level what we were trying to do when it came to workout. Like, they were trying to just lose a whole bunch of weight, and for me, I was trying to get stronger and build definition and get like solid. So it just, I had to find that I just had to work out alone, and that's the hardest thing to do. A lot of people like partners, but for me, that's actually kind of where I found like my zen and my wellness. That's why I said this is kind of like a fitness and wellness, because from moving from that area of working out, and then I started doing yoga. Well, I went from lipo and I went to yoga. So I did the methamine pills, the diets, all those keto, Weight Watchers, all that stuff. I did it. That's when I was looking like really, really skinny. I just didn't feel like that was just a look for me. And some people might like that look, but I didn't like it on me. So then I went back to gaining my weight back because I stopped doing that stuff and I didn't know what to do. So then I was just chilling for a long time. And then I finally decided, let me just go and get my stomach sucked out. Like, get the fat out of my stomach. I'm just tired of trying. So I went and got it out. It was cool for a while, but then you gain the weight back, So weight came back, and then it was now a problem again. So I had to go, and that's when I started working out again. And just this is when I started actually paying attention to what I really wanted, instead of just thinking, okay, I want my stomach flat. So I started to think, like, what about my stomach I want flat? Do I want abs? Do I want it super flat? I realized I don't really like the super flat look. It's not really my thing. I kind of like what my stomach is. Like, I like it toned. I like a little bit of abs. So once I started realizing what my body was looking like and what I could work with my body, because you have to have or know what your body is to know what you want to work with. Like, if you know you are a slim frame, you don't need to be thinking about having no gigantic booty, because no matter how many squats or how much you eat, you will never have a booty like a girl who has a naturally big butt. It's genetics. And I think some people say, oh, you can grow your butt. You can grow your butt in the gym, and I've seen it. Women grow their butt, but they grow their butt to their booty maximum. So if they are naturally just a little bitty booty, all it's going to do is just lift it up. It's not really going to expand it out. And when you do grow your butt and you're eating healthy and it's growing, it's not going to get super big. Like, you have to naturally have a big butt to get that really crazy big butt look, or you go get it done and do that too. But you just have to learn your weight. So I know I'm a naturally thick girl, so I realized I was never going to have that really, really slim look. Like, you know how some girls, they're curvy and they have like a really, really slim look. I realized I have hips, so I'm not going to ever have that slim look. My hips are always going to come out. So now that I realized that, I just accepted it. So learning what my body was, and then starting to like love my body, and then now I can sit here and think, can I develop or enhance on it? And that's how I kind of got into my wellness and loving myself and my fitness journey, and really finding out what worked for me. So let's dive into, I think it was another part. What I learned. So let's dive into what I learned, like the good and the bad from doing these different things when it comes to fitness and wellness. So what did I learn? So what I learned is basically choosing the right foods for you. Some people can do vegan, some people can't. Me, the first year of like my workout, I did like vegan. So I did like this crazy like 60-day fast where I literally was eating nothing. It was more also a spiritual fast. And then once I got through that, I started incorporating like soup and all things like that, getting my stomach back to being used to eating. And then once I did that, I went over to like incorporating like lentils and all that type of stuff. And to be quite honest, all that food was nasty to me. Like, I ate it for a while, but I wasn't really satisfied. Like, it wasn't filling me up, for one. Number two, the flavor was not catching. And it could be the way I cooked it. I'm probably not a good vegan cooker. I see so many people online that cook delicious vegan food, but I have to think about what I can work with and what I can afford, what I can make in my kitchen, and I'm the one eating day in, day out. I can't be buying restaurant vegan food every day. So since I can't get the food the way I like it in the vegan way, I just decided to go back to what I knew and just start doing things in moderation. So like for instance, I don't really eat a lot of pork. I typically stick to minimizing the pork. I don't eat ribs. I don't really eat like burgers. I don't really eat like heavy meals. Like if I have some bacon, it'll be like 3 pieces of bacon, and that'll probably be it. Or I have a sausage. I really only eat like pork when it comes to breakfast food, like just bacon and sausage. Then I eat a lot of chicken. I eat a lot of salmon, and I eat a lot of like, yeah, just mainly chicken and salmon and turkey. I eat a lot of like turkey. I used to do the ground turkey, but I actually don't really like the ground turkey. It doesn't really work well for me. It just doesn't taste well. Like it doesn't do what it does when I need the beef, ground beef, honestly. So I've learned to put those meats back into my diet, because even though people say it's this so unhealthy, this and that, it's the moderation of which you do everything. And it also has helped me with energy, and we need protein, and there's only so much protein you can get in beans and all that other stuff. And I'm going for more of muscle weight, so I just feel like, I don't know, I don't really like most of the stuff I was trying as an alternative to a lot of things I like, so I had to learn for me. Milk, I do still do oat milk. Number one, because regular milk spoils too quick, so it kind of become a waste of money. Oat milk is a good substitute for a lot of things, especially with my stomach, because of the fact I am lactose, so my stomach can get a little irritated. So oat milk, I cook with everything. I use almond milk in all of my smoothies. I do a lot of whole foods when it comes to food. Like I do a lot of whole fruit. I don't do a lot of frozen fruit. If I do, I barely using, like I buy like the little $2 packs, and that's only when I'm trying to have snacks in the middle of the day. I eat a lot of yogurt and granola. I stick to like simple meals like bacon, eggs, and toast, or chicken, asparagus, and sweet potato, or baked salmon, rice, and broccoli or corn. Trying to keep all those kind of aligned. My meals are pretty basic and simple. I do go out a little bit sometimes and cook stuff like red beans and rice, or like baked ziti, lasagna, stuff like that. But I do that seldomly, because I try to keep my meals at a like price range. I'm on a budget, so everything for me is like compacted and simple, and I like my meals to last 2 days. So I'll make it one day and then have it eat that day, and I'll probably eat it maybe the next day for lunch if it's some that left over from that day, and then I'll cook again. And that's kind of how I keep my meals going, because I learned when I meal prepped for like 4 to 5 days, I get tired of eating chicken for 5 days. I have to switch my meat up, and then I also 2 days out the week I don't really eat meat. So I try to make sure at least 2 days out the week I don't eat meat, just to keep my digestive system good. Because sometimes you can have too much meat and it can be too overfilling, and you need to digest it. So I always like to incorporate vegetables into every meal I have. I also like to 2 times a week not eat meat. So I'll probably like do a smoothie, or eat like avocados. I'll probably eat like an egg, or I'll probably eat like a whole bunch of like mixed bell peppers, or I'll make a salad with like nuts and just veggies in it. I'll do stuff like that to try to counteract the meat that I'm intaking too, and also keeping me with vegetables, protein, nutrients, nuts, all those kind of things you want to still keep into your body. Moderation, I said that's key. Consistency, so being consistent in the gym and being consistent with your meals. If you do like eat ice cream or whatever, then the next day just go to the gym, work out, and don't eat ice cream that day. It just, for me, I had to wheel myself off of food. Like for me to think that I'm gonna just stop eating something, it'll make me want to eat it. So I'm the type, I'll eat it until I can't eat it no more. So I was like, when I came to like chips, the beginning I was just eating chips, and then eventually I got tired of eating those chips, so I started trying different chips. And I tried those chips, the little healthy chips, those is nasty. And after that, I just didn't want chips anymore. I don't really have the feeling for chips. Like I'll look at them and I'll probably want some nacho chips, but not like how I used to be, where I can, kill a bag of Hot Flamings. And I can't do that no more. It kind of I probably tear my stomach up now. I probably be in the bathroom. But yeah, so just learning things like that, like cookies. I had things with cookies, but only chocolate chip. Now I just bake my cookies from scratch, and I'll have one cookie every night. I think in moderation. Like if I'm eating like 5 cookies in one night, yes, it's a problem. But if I'm eating one cookie after working out and eating all that meal prep and all that stuff, if that one cookie's not gonna hurt me, it hasn't hurt me yet. I've been seeing results. So if you want to be real strict with your diet, you can. But I look at it like I got one life to live. I'm not gonna live no strict diet where I'm eating all this nasty food just because I'm trying to look like a size 6 when I can still eat these foods that I love, and I do it in moderation, and I incorporate healthy exercise as well as incorporating like healthy I would say like drinks. Like I even it out. So like I don't drink pop. I drink a lot of water. And then if I do drink anything, it's like tea or it's like apple juice. So I don't have an issue with a whole bunch of sugar intake. With my coffee, I only put 2 sugars. So if I want a cookie, I can eat a cookie. Now, if I'm drinking pop, eating chips, and eating cookies, on top of that, I'm swallowing down hot dogs. Yes, that's going to tear my stomach up. All of that is unhealthy. There was no vegetables in part of that. A whole bunch of bread. You had a whole bunch of chips. And you had cookies with some sugary drink. Yes, all of that's not a good combo. But if you are doing something like for me, for instance, I would, like tonight, I have a baked sweet potato, asparagus, and I have like 3 small chicken wings left over from the night before. I made some chicken. And I'm going to eat that, and then I'll have a cookie. And I'll be okay. Because I'm drinking water. I'm not going to most likely. And then sometimes, even if I drink like tea, I'll just take 2 sips and I'll be done. For me, sometimes it's just like a thought, like a flavor. Ooh, I want to take a sip of it. And then when I take a sip, I don't want it no more. It's weird. It's my own little thing. Anywho, let me live. But yeah, I drink a lot of water. So that's also helped me as well. Water. Even though it's hard for me sometimes, I have to like remind myself, and like I have to set my water bottle in front of me. But water. It's super important. I said meal prepping, intermediate fasting. So I do this for spiritual reasons and for physical reasons. So throughout my work day, I will not eat all morning, or even in the morning, I just won't eat in the morning. I probably don't eat. So I'll probably stop eating at like 9 or 10 o'clock. Latest 10. I don't eat past 10. Excuse me. And since I don't eat past 10, I won't eat again until that following like 11 or 2. Actually, sometimes I don't probably eat till like 1 or 2. So that's probably a long intermediate fasting. I don't know how many hours that is, from 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. But honestly, because in the morning I'll be working, and then I'll also be reading my Bible and just listening and praying. So I don't really be thinking about food. And by the time I think about food, after all of that I be doing, it be 2 o'clock, you know? I do drink coffee in the morning, and I'll drink water throughout the day. And if I get to the point where my stomach getting like a little upset, I'll probably eat a couple pieces of fruit or something. But I try not to eat in that time frame, because I find that intermediate fasting has also helped me to be able to eat the foods that I enjoy. Because sometimes we're eating the foods that we enjoy in too much of a capacity. From 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., we just smashing food. That's a lot of food in your body. It's weighing you down. It's building you up. All that cramp, all that stuff knotting up in your stomach. You just on the toilet, like uncomfortable. So we have to learn that we do not need that much food. And that's probably why we get overweight. It's not really the food itself. It's that we think that we have to get to it, you know? And I used to be like that, you know? I used to be greedy, you know? I like to eat. I still do, which is why I said that's why I had to go back and enjoy the food I like, because I'm telling y'all, that diet I was on with all them substitutes and making all that nuts and cheese, and it honestly became so expensive. Like, I found myself, for macaroni and cheese, a baked macaroni and cheese, I can spend less than $5 at the regular grocery store. If I go get all that vegan stuff, I was spending $15 just to make some baked macaroni and cheese. Like, what? $15 for macaroni and cheese is ridiculous. So I had to cut back on that budget, and I noticed that it still did the same thing. Now, mind you, when I did switch over from last year, start eating back all that meat, I picked up my weight quick. So people was thinking like I got my body done. Everybody always think that as soon as somebody pick up some weight or their butt get bigger, they think their body got done. My ass is not done. My booty is real. It's always been real all my life. I do not have any implants. I do not have any injections. I do not have anything moved in there. So I wish people would just understand that there are people who just naturally go up and down in their weight. Okay. And I feel like, especially for women, it's just a natural thing, that especially if you are a person like me who are always was trying a new diet. And so, and that's why, and I have been insecure with my weight for a long time, since I was a little girl, because I was always very voluptuous at a young age. So at a young age, I was always told I had to have all my clothes on. I had to wear long coats. Shorts had to be in my knees. Like I just always had a shape. So I always knew, like, I always wanted to be skinny, because I felt like sometimes, like, dang, they can wear whatever they want. But I learned to embrace my body and its shape as I've gotten older. So yeah. Slowing down and paying attention. So one thing I learned also in my fitness journey is slowing down and paying attention. So that's how I learned what foods work for me and don't, by slowing down and realizing when I eat something, how am I feeling? And that's how I noticed, like, burgers, like certain restaurant, like burgers, I can't eat those no more because they tear my stomach up. And it back my stomach up and I be constipated. Just like ribs, I can't really play with ribs. Although I love them. Can't play with them. I can't play with a hot link. I can do one hot link. Okay? I can do one hot link, maybe two. But those tear my stomach up too, but those are so good. Those are my favorite. It's a hot link off the grill. A little bit burnt. But we're not going to get too detailed on that because I haven't had a hot link in years. So I really don't know if it'll mess up my stomach now, because I remember when I had it like 2 years ago, my stomach was a little toe up, but it wasn't that bad. I made it through. Workout schedule. So I have a workout schedule as well. These are things I learned just to remind people where we at in the video. These are things I learned along the way with my fitness journey. I also learned that with workout schedules, you have to be your own self-motivator. I have to motivate myself. Even if I go to the gym and I do half my workout, I have to motivate myself to go to the gym. I have to motivate myself to even work out at home sometimes. Like, sometimes I'll be lazy. I'll be like, oh, I don't feel like walking to the gym. I don't feel like putting on no clothes. I don't feel like looking at nobody. So when I get in that mindset, then I'll go pull my mat out and I'll look in the mirror and I'll say, you can do something. You can start. And then what's crazy is once you start with 2 workouts, then you start feeling yourself and you push a little bit forward. Now there are some days when you don't push a little bit forward. You just knock out those 2 and that's it. But it's good to at least do it because it just builds that confidence and that self-esteem. And I feel like that helped me a lot too. And it also made me more comfortable going to the gym 5 days a week now, as I did before when it was like 3, because now that I know that I can just go to the gym and just work out as much as I can and leave, I'm more comfortable to go every day than thinking, when I got to go to the gym, I have to be there for an hour. I got to do this. I have to have 30 minutes. When you have that kind of mindset, it makes you like antsy. It makes you like, ooh, wait, I don't want to go, because you got to think about that hour. You got to think about what you can do in that hour. I can go ahead and take a nap. So you have to just self-motivate, because that's me. And if it's you, then you understand. Walking. I started walking a lot. I do a lot of walking. I walk anywhere. I think that it's important, and I found myself even like, having a car and having Uber and all that. Uber, I just walk, because walking has actually helped me lose a lot of weight. It makes me not have to force myself to do cardio in the gym. Also, walking relieves me mentally. I take a lot of stress out. I don't know what it is. I have to walk, listen to my worship music, and for some reason it just cleanses my spirit. It's the best thing ever. Okay, being willing to adjust and knowing your failures and errors will happen. So on this journey, you will fail. Like, for instance, when I stopped eating vegan and I gained all that weight back, I thought it was a failure to me, because I was like, dang, I popped this weight back up quick. But then I realized I want that weight back because that was the way I was going for. But now I've been shaping it and building more muscle with it and turning it into muscle. So now, even with that weight gain, that failure taught me something to make the situation better. So that's why I said take your failures and errors as a opportunity of growth, because all it's going to do is make you better. Now, if you sit in the failure, then you're going to be in the same failure. You're not going to ever get out that failure. But if you get out that failure and you get out that error, let's say for instance, like for me, for a while I was doing the Bulgarian split wrong. I was even called it wrong. And I didn't know I was doing it wrong until I started, paying attention to people and realizing that my knee was hurting a little bit more than it should, and it wasn't working my booty like it was supposed to. Then I finally realized it was the form, and I fixed it. And now I see more results. My booty has gotten lifted higher and higher. And I'm telling y'all, those things are amazing. And it's just trial and error, because you have to learn your body, learn you. And then also, one thing about I learned, I want to say this: if you have any like injuries, or if you have like back problems, stuff like that, there are certain exercises you can't do, and there's nothing wrong with that, because there's always an alternative. And I learned that a lot. But my knee, because one, I have really bad balance, because I have a issue with my patella where it's like missing something, and it makes me not be able to stand on my knee properly. I'm supposed to have surgery, but I don't got a lot of time for that right now. So I haven't had surgery. So I wear the patella knee brace, or the knee brace that hold it, to keep my balance, so when I'm squatting or lunging, I won't like mess up. But you just gotta make adjustments to your situation and who you are. God made us all differently. We all got different problems, and we all got different strengths, and we have to learn how to adapt and move with what we got. All right, and let's move on to the final thing, which is the weaknesses that I learned along my fitness and wellness journey. Weaknesses, 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 weaknesses. What are the weaknesses? So the weaknesses that I learned along my fitness and wellness journey is, one, I do a lot of bored eating. So I had to learn how to start finding different distractions for that, because I'll get bored and just start eating. Like, oh, I look good. I was a snacker, so instead of me having full meals that were like actually balanced and well proportioned, I would be, like I say, eating chips, snacking on some donuts, whatever the snack food was, I was snacking on it. So I realized that was another reason why I wasn't able to build muscle and lose fat, because I was snacking on the wrong things. I also had a problem with eating and going to sleep. I would eat, and if I'm tired, I'm going to bed. So I learned to eat and then like wait like an hour to hour and a half before I go to bed. Honestly, sometimes it's an hour, but hey, I'm working on 2. We gonna get there. I had an issue with too much meat. Like I like meat, so I was overeating meat, and it was tearing my stomach up. And then I had days when I wouldn't eat at all. So sometimes I would have days when I'm like not eating at all. That's why I do the intermediate fasting, because it doesn't shock my body and think that, because when you stop eating like for a day or 2, it puts your body in starvation mode. So then when you do eat, it's going to store that fat in that food, because the thing's never going to eat again. That's why I incorporate the intermediate fasting, because of the fact that I know there's sometimes when I don't want to eat. So when it's like that, then I know my body won't go into a shock, because it's used to me taking periods of time of not eating. That was pretty much, and then my weakness was lack of self-motivation, which is why I said it's important. I have to motivate myself a lot. This has been a 2-year journey of me going up and down, figuring out the natural way of losing and building, losing fat and gaining muscle, and living a healthier lifestyle. Also, changing my eating habits is still an ongoing thing for me, because this is going to be my lifestyle. I look at it like, and it's also how I would raise my children to eat as well. So I feel like this for me is more of not like this is a simple diet plan, but this is going to be a strategic health style movement that I'm going to be on, where this is how I'm going to eat and for the rest of my life. So I'm gradually learning the things that work for my body. I'm gradually learning the things that can sit well, and also the food that helps me and the food that hinders me. So nutrition and wellness and fitness all coincides, and the most important when it comes down to it is nutrition, because nutrition is going to help you with your wellness. Your wellness will help you with the fitness, because if you're not eating right, you won't be well to work out. All right, I hope this video helped you a little bit. I know it was lengthy, and I kind of rambled a little bit, because this was last minute thoughts that the Lord placed in my heart to just share my journey experience with you guys, and just let you know what's going on with me and how my body is, and give you guys some tips and maybe some information that you didn't know that can help you. Deuces.